the most important thing that I want to say in this podcast is that we are emotional beings, not logical or intellectual beings. So if I'm not able to have an emotional connection, to transmit trust, love, warmth, appreciation, anger, surprise, contempt, if I'm not able to send an emotion, and if we are not connecting at our primal level, emotional, then what are we doing?
Welcome to the Alphapreneurs podcast. I'm your host, Rayhan Aleem. I'm the CEO and co-founder of 𝗥𝘆𝗵, a UAE-based e-invoice tech company, and Alpha Pro Partners, a bookkeeping business supporting small and medium-sized businesses. We meet Dubai-based entrepreneurs who share their insights and stories on building their business to help yours. My guest today is Andreea. She's an executive speaking coach, a presenter, and a TEDx speaker who has helped more than 2,000 professionals speak with greater confidence and presence. Her journey is especially powerful because she went from struggling with her own voice as a child to building a career helping leaders, founders, and executives use theirs. Andreea, thank you for joining me today on the Alphapreneurs podcast. We're going to talk about your influence in my decision and helping me improve the podcast. Before we go into the podcast, can we just get a quick introduction about who you are? I know you have an amazing journey, and we'll go into that journey. But give our listeners a bit more of a quick introduction about who you are and what you do.
It's wonderful to be here and to finally record this conversation that we planned like a year ago. I'm Andreea Zoia, public speaking mentor and coach to CEOs and executives, presenter, artist, model. I can add many other things to my name because I'm a very passionate person. I love to explore. I love to learn and grow. I don't like to be labeled. Yet professionally, for the last 8 years now, I have been helping CEOs and executives to better present, write and deliver speeches, and be the best CEOs and leaders they can be.
Oh, thank you for that introduction. So I want to go back to the very beginnings, and I think it's relevant because of the conversation we're going to take this through. Now, you obviously, you grew up in Romania, and you've spoken about this yourself in your content. That at the age of 7, you lost your father, and the irony is you're a speaking coach, but at that age you developed mutism. Tell us a little bit more about what was going on at that time and how you felt growing up and losing your father.
So it's 5:30 in the morning. My father comes to me and tells me, Dana, because I'm Dana Andreea, so he calls me Dana, sleep tight. I'm going to go to the market with your mother to sell these goods. We had vineyards, we had orchards. So we were always every autumn selling goods to the market. And my mom was already at the market. He drove back from that market to home to take a second round of goods. And when he kissed my forehead, I jumped and I said, wait, let me change my clothes and come with you because I know you didn't sleep for 2 days and you are tired. I'm going to keep you company in the car because I'm 7, but since like 5 or 6, I'm helping in the business. He gives me this Romanian alpha male, strong line. I'm the best driver there is. What are you talking about? Sleep. We see each other around 9 to have breakfast. He went for good. He never came back. So at his funeral, so what happened is he fell asleep. He fell asleep and he had a instant death. That's what the doctor said. And it's as if I knew it. And at his funeral, I have my hands on his coffin and I'm praying for a miracle to happen because he was only 36. I had a very strong, powerful connection with him. And I'm praying for him to wake up. And my mom and some other people in my family, they tap me on the shoulder. You have to cry, you have to mourn. But that intervention was more cruel than the actual death of my dad because I'm in the middle of praying for him to wake up. I'm not accepting. I'm just 7. What do you mean my dad is here? He did this. And that's when I went in. I built shields of shields of shields. The world is not safe. The world doesn't understand me. And I didn't know then that was called selective mutism, meaning I was speaking like, hi, bye, yes, no, yeah, sure, you want to go? Yeah. So I would go to school and the teachers would say, okay, Andrea, tell us about geography, tell us about history. And I would freeze. I wouldn't be able to speak. 1 year, second year. But then I would do my homework perfectly. So teachers would notice she studies, she's conscientious, but she's just not able to deliver when she speaks. And they left me alone. And then I graduated high school like that, with that many friends, being the last guy in the class who felt like a shadow, with a hunch, looking down. Quite sad. But that event became the lens through which I see you, the audience, the world. Sadness and grief became the lens that guided me through life. And now it gave me the depth to connect with anyone's inability to speak, fear of being visible, forgetfulness, shame, people who are shaking, sweating, whatever problem you think you might have as a speaker, as a leader, I have the sensitivity to say, I know where you're coming from. And then throughout years, I went into a lot of personal development and healing and coaching and accumulating and collecting coaching certificates to then take my sensitivity that God decided to give me, destiny decided to give me that lens, to back it up with thirst, knowledge, passion for communication, to then merge them, mix them into what now is my gift to the world. Because I don't work. I feel like I'm just playing / being curious about the person in front of me. What can I do to this group of people? So I'm, in a way, extremely blessed that this tragedy happened to me when I was 7.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really powerful story that you've shared with us. And I want to say thank you for sharing that story with us. One of the things that kind of is going through my mind right now is the fact that the journey of an entrepreneur is not easy, it's difficult. And you have to literally overcome setback after setback after setback. You need to build resilience. There was a quote that I heard where resilience is what makes you world class. And as an entrepreneur, we want to continue to do that. Now, you could have fallen into depression. You could have stayed how you were at the age of 7, but yet you went from, you lost your father at a very young age. You developed selective mutism, but then you moved to Dubai. You did lots of amazing things in your life and you became an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, as you say, but I still classify you as an entrepreneur. You obviously um, had a lot of setbacks in your life. So how were you able to, what's that thing inside you that makes you push yourself to go to the next level? Because that's something that the difference between some good entrepreneurs and great entrepreneurs is that they are able to continuously leap above some of these issues that they face. So what's the thing that kind of pushes you to kind of keep moving and keep moving forward?
Spirit. It's a spirit. It's it's a very powerful and beautiful question. I'm very grateful you're asking me this. No one asked me this in a very long time, so it feels good to be able to think about the best answer to give you. It's the spirit of, okay, my dad sacrificed his life to give me a better life. That's why he didn't sleep and he was going to the market. So he pushed himself on the edge. Why? To make more money. Why? To give us a better life. So what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do with his life that he gave away for me and for my sister and for my mom? What am I going to do with the fact that I also partially lost my mom too, because she was grieving for many years? in the 1990 when my dad passed, there was no psychologist, there was no group, no sound healing. So my mom was carrying the shadow of loss and grief, and she wasn't the most loving, fun. She was in survival mode to provide as a widow for a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old. My sister Alexandra was 1-year-old when my father passed. So I think the most just answer to your beautiful question is that up until a few years ago, what gave me resilience was I'm a survivor. I have nobody. I have no mom, no dad. I have no friend. I have no one paying my DIWA bill or my taxes to your company. Because you are the best accountancy company I found, and I'm very happy I found you.
Oh, thank you.
So no one will pay the taxes to Rayhan and to the girls who are asking me, Andreea, you're late. I didn't have time. Closing the parenthesis. So I understood I'm on my own. I am the mother, I'm the father, I'm the girl, I'm the woman, I'm the entrepreneur, and I have to make it happen. And then 3-4 years ago, I put this survival mode down and I said, it's exhausting to live like a lonely wolf in the world. It was preventing me from forming the best relationship with men because I was the independent, lonely wolf. And I wasn't able to energetically make space for a gentleman to come and say, I like you, I would like to get to know you. I was so hypervigilant, so in survival mode, so I have to make it happen that I was somehow sabotaging any form of starting to date someone. So for anyone listening, and I know there are so many women, especially us women, of course you gentlemen too, you're happily married, and I take a bow, I'm super happy that you started forming a family. But for everyone who is single and is working, I would love to pull the alarm for all of us, myself included, and really live our lives. Because the business will always be there, and solving problems and offering value in the market will always be available. But what fuels the business is the love that you give and receive from your parents, from your children, and from your spouse. That's my biggest message now, that I understood finally through a bit of therapy, a bit of a talk with people who already formed families, that a loving family and a loving, sustainable relationship will actually give you more power and resilience and love and charge you energetically to go in the world and be a better man, a better woman, a better service provider, entrepreneur.
That's a great answer, especially as purpose is important as well. And that kind of drives why you do certain things. So yeah, no, that, great insights from you. So thank you. I want to fast forward to Dubai. So
2004.
2004.
I arrived in 2004 in March.
And I want to talk about, obviously, many entrepreneurs come to Dubai. And many of them, I see a common pattern with some of my clients, right? On the accounting side. Some entrepreneurs, they literally leave their home country. They come here and they set up the business. Some already have an existing business and they come here. And then others, they probably had a job, came here, had a job, found a great idea, and then they set up their own business. But what amazes me about Dubai is you meet so many different entrepreneurs. And now, even now at this day and age, you now find family businesses that have been around for centuries and they're coming here as well. A lot of billionaires are coming here. I saw the other day that CZ is worth 100 billion. He's based in Dubai as well. One of the crypto entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And you came to Dubai at the age of 19, which is very daring. And in your journey, you embarked many different experiences to get to where you are here. I mean, at that time, Dubai isn't what it is now, right? Now it's all bling bling, right? Everyone's like coming here because it's, they come 3-4 times a year and it's, it's their second home. But you came in 2004. What made you come to Dubai of other cities that were available? And how did you mentioned that you came with a thick Romanian accent, and I saw a video where you went back to the first place you worked at, right? Which is humbling as well. What made you come to Dubai, and what was your main kind of challenges when you first came, and how did you overcome them?
I had 100 million Romanian lei, and I wanted to invest them in property in Dubai. So I had exactly 100 dirhams, $100. I had 2 pair of jeans, some boots, and a very small luggage. Coming back to properly answer your question, I'm in my last year of high school. I've already passed all the exams to go and become a lawyer and study to become a lawyer. And I went to the university for like 3, 4, 5 days, and it was cold, and I didn't really have much money, and my mom couldn't provide much to keep me in university. I wanted really badly to become a lawyer, and in a funny way, my job allows me to think like a lawyer and protect people from their own fears. But that's a different parenthesis that will develop later on. And so I'm studying law, kind of starting, and then I remember one of the teachers came with a magazine saying, guys, look at this hotel. So she was mesmerized by 𝗤𝗆𝗆, first hotel on water, 7-star hotel. And I don't know, it was the innocence of 19 when I looked at the magazine and I said, I will live there, just like that. I was daydreaming. And then I said to my mom, I said, look, it's very difficult for me to travel from my city to Brașov, another big city in Romania. I want to freeze the year, 3 months, 6 months the year, and I want to go and make some money and practice my English and just do something different. She said, where do you want to go? We have relatives in Italy, you speak Italian. I said, no, everyone goes to Italy. I don't want to go to Italy. I always like to go against the stream. Give me the road less traveled. I want to take it. Give it to me. The road less traveled. I want to go to Dubai. She said, what is Dubai? What is Dubai? I said, look at this. On that day, I found a newspaper, and at the back, there was a football coach from Alain team. He was of course, from Romania, very famous in Romania. And I said, look, they acquired this coach to coach a football team in Alain. There are more Romanians in the UAE. Are you mad? What is Dubai? What is the UAE? We are in Romania, right? Part of Europe. Few weeks pass, and I convince her to give me the money to go and... So I found a job in a newspaper. You remember the yellow pages? Yellow pages, everybody? 1984, marhaba, 80s child. So I found a job in the newspaper to come here to the UAE as a hostess in a restaurant. But I'm very precise. And people who are not precise, they are my enemy, they piss me off. And it started with my first job in Dubai. So I go to do exams, to come to be a hostess, English exam, psychological exam, math. I passed through some proper exams to come to be a hostess in a restaurant on Sheikh Zayed Road. I come, and the manager. So there are 6 Romanian girls who came with me. They were waitresses, and I was the hostess. I arrive. The manager snatches our passports, take us to Jumeirah, put us in a villa. First day at work. Okay, start cleaning the restaurant. I said, no, I think it's a problem. It's a mistake. I am the hostess. Look at my nails. I will welcome people in the restaurant. Say, marhaba, this is your table. No. We need you to be a waitress. I said, I'm sorry. My family has a business. I'm not anyone's waitress. Start cleaning the table. I start crying. It's a cultural shock. It's a shock because I have a contract that says hostess, and he couldn't care less about that contract because he brought 6 beautiful Romanian girls to be an attraction in the Lebanese restaurant where they were selling hummus, 𝗵𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 this contract. I want to go back to my country because these people are forcing me to sell, to be a waitress, and I'm a hostess. And the colonel said, what's the difference? What's the difference how is this and a waitress? I said, in my head, it's a big difference. A hostess welcomes people. A waitress serves people. I'm not a servant. He said, go back to work. Dismissed me. And I'm stubborn. I'm resilient. I said, I'm not leaving from here until I go home. And I'm sitting on a bench in immigration. If you are an old child who lived in Dubai, immigration used to be where Zoia Center is now on Sheikh Zayed Road. And I sit there and a handsome colonel passes by and I'm like, okay, hi. So he's like, what are you doing here? I said, I want to go home. He said, come to my office. What's your story? This. Give me the number of the manager. He calls this guy, he shouts at him. You have 30 minutes to come here. This person, she's working, you're over the something. Anyway, the manager comes in 30 minutes to in the office of this colonel. And the manager threatens me. He tells me, you call the immigration, I will show you now. He threatens me in English in front of the authorities. This is just my first month in Dubai, 2004. They sent me back, but with the, if you remember, how do you call it when they stamp for 6 months for with the black, anyway, I couldn't come in the country for 6 months. They banned me. So resilience runs through my DNA. I wait 6 months and I applied for another job as a sport trainer because now in 1 month I saw Sheikh Zayed Road, I saw Burj Al Arab, I saw the beach. I said, la, forget about being a lawyer. We're going to live in Dubai. I had a vision. But yes, you're right. It was a different world. Less malls, less buildings, less nationalities. Extremely humble, yet beautiful. Less luxurious for sure, yet safe. And I could smell in the air the possibility of growing an identity and growing a crib and an ecosystem for myself. It was speaking to me. And that's why I stayed and I went hospitality and then I really wanted to model. But when I started modeling, I didn't have the looks that I have now. I had a big nose and my teeth were not straight. So I worked as a sport trainer, as a promoter, saved money. I don't know where I had the courage at 23, 24. So this is 3-4 years in to go and look for a plastic surgeon because they weren't that line. Now they are lined up on Jumeirah. One is better than the other one. One has more accolades. One has more famous than the other one. No. At that time, you could barely find one in 2004. So I found it in 2007-8. I found a Lebanese doctor who was traveling between Mexico and US. And I said, if he's in Mexico, US and Dubai, it means he's in demand. He corrected my nose. I was wearing braces for 2 years. And only then I got myself permission to be able to model, which was one of my dreams. And that 3 years of maintenance, when they close the road and they say, sorry for your inconvenience, we are working to enhance your experience. That was me. Because braces for 2 years, rhinoplasty. But after that, I did new photos and I created a modeling portfolio. And though there were 2-3 modeling agencies, there were just few jobs. I started to model and then I caught the time when Amar was launching the address, Burj Khalifa, and so on and forth. And that's when they had the biggest, it was high demand.
Yeah.
It was the highest demand for advertising, marketing, and I was working every day. Now. I was the face of Emirates Airlines for 2-3 years in a row in 2012. My face was on the billboards of Dubai. I have all the photos. I was doing fashion, catwalk. I was just like working nonstop. So it's interesting that I didn't really have a vision of what's going to happen in Dubai, but I just allowed myself to sense and feel and follow the bliss. And there are so many books written about follow your bliss, follow your instinct.
So Andreea, thank you for sharing your story about coming into Dubai and then becoming a model in the boom era of Dubai. So now I want to kind of shift more into your entrepreneurial journey. You obviously went from being a model to a presenter and then to an executive coach. So how did you, one of the things obviously even I found difficult was my communication skills. And I think that's very important as a leader, especially when you're dealing with customers, employees, investors, communicating what you're doing to your loved ones as well. How did you transition from a model to a presenter and then to a public speaking coach?
The journey was like that. At around 30, I said to myself, okay, modeling has a limited shelf time. I won't be able to model forever. What else do I want to do? I had no clue. I didn't want to do sales. I didn't want to do marketing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I don't want to do real estate because I think it's very hard as much as it can be very exciting and fruitful. And I knew I don't want to be a cabin crew because I think it's one of the most difficult jobs in the world. Though I went for an interview and I've been massively rejected. And the reason was that I have a dominant personality. And I said, good, I've learned something about myself. I have a strong dominant personality and I'm not fit for being a stewardess. I didn't want it anyway. Then Celine Dion came to town. I'm searching for my purpose. I'm searching. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I was clueless. I was crossroads. I was like, God, show me the way. As people are in this point when they exit a relationship or a marriage, or they are, now with AI and people needing to shift jobs, you're like, okay, where do I go? Like, where is the wind blowing? And I was in the same spot. And then Celine Dion comes to town, and I'm at her concert, and she's my biggest idol at this time. And I'm looking at Celine Dion, and I'm backstage. I'm able to find friends who knows friends, and I'm backstage. I was speaking with her late husband and with her, and I'm observing her, and I'm asking myself, God, how can I be like Celine Dion? Because I love Celine Dion, but how can I? I don't sing. I speak, but I don't sing. And I'm still searching for what I want to do because I'm only modeling. And then an angel appeared. Our producer is called Angel, so I hope she's smiling. An angel appeared and told me, you could be like Celine Dion on stage. You could present Celine Dion. You could present. So really divine inspiration came in that moment because I was searching. When you are asking, really, you will definitely find an answer. If you have the patience to wait. And when I realized that I want to present, as I was observing Celine Dion, I said, yeah, I want to present. I love the stage. I love people. I'm energetic. I'm exuberant. I'm extroverted. But we were having a very big problem. At age 30, I spoke very little English. So I had a low proficiency. I had a thick Romanian accent from Romania, where I'm from. And I was speaking my own type of English that I've mixed with Romanian. So who would need a presenter who looks, okay, kind of pretty, but you can't really hear, understand very well. So when I went back to modeling and I said to everyone, I'm going to start my journey as a presenter, they said, great, there is a Romanian channel, there is a radio station. I said, no, I will present in English. They said, oh, come on, that's funny. You cannot do that. No one will ever hire you. You don't have a journalism background, you didn't go to university, you don't speak good English, you have an accent. All odds are against you becoming a presenter. I said, watch me. Similarly, how I did with modeling, sorry for the inconvenience, we are working to enhance your experience. I repeated the pattern. And I went now and I searched for an accent reduction teacher. I went and this was the most difficult thing. To find a teacher or a mentor or a trainer 15 years ago, so 2026 minus, how much is that? 2010,
yeah,
11, 12. Yeah, 2012. I went to university. Knock, knock. I want to do 100,000 dirhams. 100,000 dirhams. You have a course, I call them $8,000 for 2 days. You cannot become a presenter in 2 days, $8,000. And so it took me months to go to Toastmasters, to go right, to go left. I didn't like Toastmasters much because they were rigid and I didn't find my place there. But I found a teacher in Toastmasters. And I said, can I get coaching with you? Rayhan. Found a coach. I paid him 500 dirhams, 2012, first session. Okay. He gave me some tests. He said, sorry, I cannot help you. Take the money back. I don't think you can be a presenter. I said, oh, come again? He said, you are not confident. You have an accent. You are shaking. You have not much to say. I cannot help you. No. I want to start to learn. Teach me pronunciation, body language, ask me questions. Okay, we can try one more session. Next week, I do the second session. He said, I'm not convinced. I think you should focus on, you're pretty. Open an agency, get married, find a rich husband. Forget about this presenting thing. The more everyone was telling me no, the more I wanted it. Plus, I'm an Aries. So Aries people in general are very driven. We break the mountain to go on the other side. Third or fourth session, the coach tells me, listen, I really had to break your character, break you, to find out how badly you want it, because all odds are against you. And I see you are resilient. Let's start. So he didn't want to waste his time, and he wanted to see if he throws me out, if he throws me out, if he throws me out. But I come back and knock again on his door, and I did. So I think the red thread in my story is a ton of resilience.
Yeah.
Now, as I'm just witnessing my story in front of you, I'm realizing this more and more. And after that, as I started being coached by him, I found one more teacher, one more English teacher. I hired someone to work on my vocabulary and writing skills. I started reading more. Then I worked for 1 year to reduce my accent and to relearn the phonetical alphabet in English. Because the way I was positioning my tongue and the way I was moving my mouth was in a certain way. So I had to relearn that. And that was every Thursday for 1 year. And it was happening with a lot of tears. I was hating English. I was like, why is sheep and sheep? Why is it beach and beach? Why is it so complicated? I really wanted to be a presenter. I visualized myself on stage, and I said, okay, what are the reps I have to do? What are the exercises I have to do? Just let me go through it. And rep after rep after rep after rep, in 2-3 years, I was ready to now do charity events, a free event there, 1,000 dirham event there, just to gain stage experience, because you are not a presenter in the training room, you're a presenter on stage. You really get your exam when you are in front of people and you are delivering. And that was in 2014, 2015. 11 years later, I'm ready to be on stage anytime, any day. In China, in the UAE, in Jakarta, in Berlin, anywhere you need me, I will be there. I love presenting. Because it allows me to connect people. It allows me to unify people. It allows me to increase the energy. It allows me to inspire them. And I just feel that something when I train, when I facilitate, there's a very strong mix of education and inspiration. I just feel that something is speaking through me.
And then that obviously led you to becoming a executive speaking coach as well. And obviously you used your craft, what you've learned as a presenter, to then help others as well, and turn that into a business. Is that something you conscientiously wanted to do, where you wanted to
Thank you.
go into entrepreneurship?
No, I wanted to just be a presenter on stage because I love the stage. And then one day I was presenting for a very big telecommunication company. We had CEO speaking, and it was like a very big event for Thuraya telecommunication at that time. And the people who I was introducing on stage, they were very tense and nervous. And you know me. Hey, Rayhan, how are you? Or hey, Jonathan, Mark. Oh, I'm speaking unconcerned. I'm like, do I have your permission to show you some things that you can do to unwind and to be more relaxed? Yeah, sure. So open the shoulders, stand taller, let's do some vocal warm-ups. Tell me what you're gonna speak about. Why? What value are you gonna add to the audience through your message? And then this happened 2, 3 times. People will go on stage, they will come back, and after the event, they will say, what did you do? I said, why? I never presented like that. So their feedback helped me. The coin dropped, the light bulb went on. I said, I have a business here. So then I realized I would love to mentor and coach, and I went for the NLP certifications. I have like 3. I did NLP 3 times because I love it so much. And I understood how the brain works. I understood the connection between how we talk to ourselves, our biology, our physiology. And I think personal development and neuro-linguistic programming and coaching is one of the biggest gift that we are giving ourselves in the last 20, 30 years. Everyone is really passionate about personal development these days, and it's such a gigantic industry. And after that, when I graduated in 2015 from my first NLP course, I said, I'm open for business. I started very humbly with just a few clients. And only in 2020, coincidentally, in the pandemic, I received inquiries to coach CEOs. But I want to say something very important for everyone who wants to grow and expand. In 2018 and 19, I didn't have the skills, the know-how of what the executive level means. How is the air here in this level? I didn't know. It was unknown to me. But from one level below, I was saying to myself, I want to be a CEO coach. I want to be a CEO coach. This was my aspiration. And I spoke it until an opportunity came my way, and I learned on the job to be an executive coach. I learned in front of and with my clients, mainly one client, how to cater to him. I was preparing 1 or 2 days in advance for the session each week.
I mean, that is obviously what an entrepreneur does when they
Building the plane on the way down.
Yeah, you sometimes you have a product and it's not, whether it's a tech product or whether it's a service, you're always reiterating the offering to make it suit your customer, or not just suit your customer, but maybe your customer is going from A to B and you're preparing that product for the B, right? Like, for example, Apple and what they've done with their products as well. I wanted you to also talk about, the journey that you've seen other entrepreneurs, right? Now, if you look at episode number 1 and you look at episode number 21, you'll see a big difference in my journey, and that's thanks to you. But I want to kind of hear about, and obviously we have a mutual friend, Darren. You coached him as well, and I read in his book that he actually gave you, he mentioned you in his book at the end as a acknowledgement. But I want to kind of hear about you've worked with entrepreneurs and you've worked with executive coaches, and what kind of things have you seen? Like, what stories can you share with us where they may have been an introvert and then within a matter of 6 months you've converted them to like an extrovert? Is there anything that you can share from that point of view?
Do we have 2 more hours? The essence is that every individual has a blueprint. Let's say that every individual is made of, let's say, 35 pieces of puzzle. And I'm now, because of that depth and sensitivity of losing my dad and sensing more, I'm able to understand what is the 1 or 2 pieces of puzzle that the person in front of me needs to activate, because everything is within us. There is nothing I have or know that you, Rayhan, in front of me don't have. I will mirror it and show you how to activate it and how to train it for you to have it. But it's within you. It's you're complete and full and perfect as God designed you to be. So with most entrepreneurs I have been working now, particularly executives, I see a dominance of left brain versus right brain. So highly analytical, logical, practical, and not a good coordination between EQ, warmth, presence, feminine energy, and driven masculine alpha energy that analyzes, is clear. Communication is really the merge of these two. Is the merge of yin and yang, is the merge of masculine, feminine, is the merge of heart and mind. Many entrepreneurs speak to the mind. They don't have time. They worry about clients, branding, logistics, finance. Oh my God, the speed at which we live today. God help us all, how we are adapting. So everyone is in speed, hypervigilant, operational mode. But we are working with people last time I checked. So if we are working with people, I have to influence people, I have to provide safety, I have to provide a vision, I have to be patient to cater to different type of personas. So most entrepreneurs or leaders, they have a blind spot of speaking from their point of view and not being able to, because they don't have the training, to cater to different type of personalities. There is introvert, extrovert. There is highly analytical, there is highly motivational, inspirational, warm people. I have to be able to speak to everybody in order for me to capture their attention, in order for me to make them feel seen, heard, and important, and then they belong in this organization and culture, and I need them all.
You working with them, what kind of stories can you give us in terms of how did they go from A to B? And what was some of the, I think to make it more relevant for the audience, not necessarily about how they change, but what learnings can you give from them that our audience can then benefit from?
Okay. First of all, if all my clients would be as open and accommodating as you, I would be thrilled. Because, for example, when we collaborated and worked together to give you a few fine tunings, it was enjoyable. And I was telling you, I enjoy coaching you because you're so open and kind. And all my clients are kind, but they also come with pushback. They give me pushback. They say, I hate public speaking. I don't have time to do this. Really, I have to, like, they just give me a lot of pushback. So then my job is not only to be a coach who imparts a skill, but I have to bypass their resistance, understand where is it coming from, what are they really afraid, put a mirror on that shadow and that fear, disarm them for them to, it's complex. It's a lot of psychology that I have to apply. So one learning is people come to me like they come to the dentist. You go to the dentist only when you have a cavity and you're in pain and you have to do your cleaning. But like there aren't, the percentage of people who are proactive and they apply prevention is better than cure in dentistry, in the way they take care of their teeth is the same like public speaking. So that's why I'm not filthy rich. That's why I'm not as rich as I would want to, because I don't cater to a big number of the population. It's only 3-5% of leaders and people like yourself who said, communication, branding, podcast is important to me. Andreea, what do I need to know? How can I get better? Because you wanted to get better. But very few people ask themselves that question. They would rather say, I speak, so I just like, let's move on. I speak, I have a voice. No, there is a piano in the room that catches dust. That piano needs attunement by an engineer. Our voice is an instrument. All entrepreneurs, all leaders and executives, all people have the voice that they acquired and that was modeled and shaped by mom, dad, and the culture and the school. When you want to bring authority now in your speech, you won't be able to because you haven't attuned your voice to bring authority. You're speaking from what you know. You have patterns of speech. Similarly with a dancer. We all go to a club or a party and we dance a bit, but we are not dancers. But if you take 5 to 10 professional dance, ballroom dance sessions, you will be able to have a better coordination of your hands, torso, and legs, and you'll be able to better move on the music. It's the same with the voice. So that's one I would say aspect that most people, they give me pushback because they are more comfortable in the familiar, in what they know, and traveling from what they know to what they have to do in order to speak feels like a chore, but it's either the HR or the assistant who calls me and says, our CEO needs to present and we are kind of embarrassed. Can you help him? But don't step on his ego. I'm like, here we go, another one. And that's that. Plus, developing emotional intelligence. It's there, dormant in all of us, through practices of reading stories, of reading poems, to practices of speaking freely about personal issues, personal stories, not issues, personal stories, and really allowing the person to reveal him or herself. That's how I start to open them up to themselves. So being able to be a good communicator is you being able to have a fantastic relationship with yourself. The inner communication, when you say to yourself, I have no option but win. I have no option but be the most amazing father and husband. There's no option then to go to the podcast and have fun and deliver value. That inner communication shows in the way, in the quality of your voice. So emotional intelligence is hearing all the noise and being able to master what you pay attention to. And being able to police the doubts, because everybody creates, our brain is all about survival. So everyone has doubts, concerns, thinks about the future, remembers the past, but being able to stay, hey, be present. Look into Rayhan's eyes, be present in this podcast, have fun. Being able to be present is part of emotional intelligence. So to sum it up, anybody who trains, because I've been working with clients for 4 years, mainly because I'm also customizing their next message. So I don't coach them, but I take care of what do we have in 2 weeks? What do we do for the town hall? You want to do content for social media? I want to fine tune the content to match your entire personal brand. So very often I get to work with people on long term. And I see how, like with cycling, with swimming, with any other skill, if you keep at it, if you get to train and practice, you will amaze yourself how much potential is within yourself.
Yeah, but I also, one of the things obviously I learned from you, but also I play a lot of sports, right? And I was a football coach at one point. And even the best players, whether they're playing golf or basketball or football, they're always practicing their skill, right? So, footballers will always, when they get the ball, they do passes, they shoot. Even the best, the best players who can shoot goals, they always practicing after training. Basketball players are always practicing their hoops. And I think just because that you've got a coach doesn't mean that that's it, right? It's one of those ones where you got to continuously practice and kind of put the reps in, because even one of the I reviewed one of my previous podcasts, and this was probably one of the last few episodes, and I realized one thing that I was doing that I shouldn't be doing, and I was a bit monotone. And you obviously told me, the different types of voice and how to overcome that. But my point is that without practice, you can't get that muscle memory to then be able to be a successful coach. And I think that's also something that you would need to constantly do to ensure that you keep a high level of communication skills, as well as keep developing as well. I'm sure you've seen that as well, right?
Yeah, so most people are monotone, and I want to talk with you about football in a second. But most people are monotone because the piano is there in the room, but you're not playing it, right? So you have the voice, but you don't have vocal variety. You don't know. So when I speak, I give people an experience. I offer people an experience of me. I can also speak like this. I can say that hydration is very important, and I can speak about public speaking and me being a public speaking coach to many CEOs. I lived in Dubai for 22 years and I've had a really good life here. Dubai is great. Dubai is safe. Dubai is going currently through a crisis like the entire world, but we will come out strong as usual. If I keep talking like this, for how long do you think at home you will continue listening to me? Because this is me being monotone, not taking any break. And this is how most leaders speak because they don't know better. No one showed them the other way. So we have to interrupt people who are monotone because the brain needs variety. The brain needs a multisensory experience. If I'm monotone, it's because I don't know. But when someone interrupts me and tells me how I can sound better and shows me, then I have much more color. I have much more vitality. I have much more expression to everything that I am and I want to say. And then the other person is more interested because the brain is variety. Plus, there is the most important thing that I want to say in this podcast is that we are emotional beings, not logical or intellectual beings. So if I'm not able to have an emotional connection, to transmit trust, love, warmth, appreciation, anger, surprise, contempt. If I'm not able to send an emotion, and if we are not connecting at our primal level, emotional, then what are we doing? That's why if you are monotone and if you are watching this podcast, do something about it.
One of the questions I ask a lot of my guests is, as part of the journey, I have coaches and mentors. We have a mutual friend, Darren, who's also one of my coaches. I've been to many of your sessions, and not only have you, given me advice and helped me with my journey as a speaker, but also I've learned a lot from you from a coach, as a coach as well. In your journey, I'm sure you've come this far with it's not just resilience that's brought you to where you are here, but I'm sure it's also learning from other people and having coaches and mentors. So have you had, I'm sure you have, but have you had coaches and mentors in your journey, and what are some of the key things that they've taught you that kind of got to where you are now?
My many mentors who helped me learn English, learn to present, learn to facilitate as a trainer and facilitator, have been the God-sent mother and father I didn't have. And I think mentors, like in the hero's journey, mentors are the assigned angel to walk the path for 3 months, 2 years with you in order for you to emerge to the next level. Life is about growth and expansion and being bigger than you've been a year ago. And for every level, there is always a new mentor who will hold the torch and say, look, let's go that way. Let's go this way. The entrepreneurial journey, the business, is an identity journey. And it's known. People know this. I'm not saying anything revolutionary now. And so we are constantly walking, stepping in the unknown to scale, to go to markets, to build a culture. And we are, all of us in our individual way, we are merging in the unknown. Be it if we start a new relationship, exiting a marriage, starting a new one, taking 2 more people in the business, fighting. All these choices, movements are stepping in the unknown. And it's so much easier when you have a mentor who, like Darren, will tell you what is your intuition telling you. So a good mentor guides you within to activate your own inner teacher. But also in business, that person has more experience and they are 20 years ahead of you and they can see the patterns, they can look at your personality, what you want to build, and they can shorten that road. And I've noticed with many people recently that more people are open and prone to seek and look for a mentor, and the most successful people have a mentor in their corner. It's also, Rayhan, it's such a sweet feeling when clients call me or message me and say, I've done the talk, I've done this, or 2 years later, I've applied what you said then. Thank you. This feeling is just, no money can equate the satisfaction that a mentor or a coach has when someone they've coached or mentored succeeds.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get the same feeling as well. I mean, we, in the accounting business, we obviously work with lots of different entrepreneurs, and there's two ways of looking at it. One is obviously you are providing the books and the reconciling numbers and doing a tax return for your clients, or the other side is you're helping someone put food on the table for their family, or helping them, achieve their goals as an entrepreneur as well. And I've also, I try to meet as many of my clients as possible and give them as much advice as I can, because I can cross pollinate, right? I have experience not just from myself, but from my other clients as well, and giving back some of that information of what, not sensitive information, but more, have you thought about doing this in this way? Because, maybe this might work out for you. And then seeing their journey is, for me, it's very, it's something that I get a lot out of. I've seen some of my clients go from 0 to 10, 20, $30 million of revenue, right? In like 3-4 years. And, I'm a small part of that journey, but I like the fact that we were in that journey to get them to where they got to, because you get a lot of self-satisfaction off the back of that as well. So 100% relate to that as well.
I'm dying to ask you,
Yep.
what's the biggest fear that you've had, and when is the last time you've exhibited the biggest amount of courage?
The biggest fear for me is I always throw myself in the deep end all the time, right? And I'm always pushing myself. So, for example, when I set up a startup, Taxstar, it was the first time I was very comfortable with my accounting business. I didn't need to set up another business. But for me, it's something that I wanted to do because I wanted to scratch that itch. I want to build a product. I was always into technology. So I said to myself, let me try to build a tech company. Doing the podcast, I'm an introvert, right? You know this. And when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I did not want to be on, I didn't want my face to be shown anywhere, let alone be on a video, right? Because for me, it was about typing blogs and articles to kind of get myself out there. But I had to force myself to go down this journey, and do a podcast. Not that I want to be a Joe Rogan or a Stephen Bartlett, but more to kind of be out there and let my customers, my potential customers, family, friends know who I am. And I think that's, having done 20 odd episodes, I don't have amazing downloads, but for me, it's a journey. And I think this is something that I enjoy and something I will continue to do.
And you are doing what every entrepreneur should do, which is own his story,
Yeah.
and be acceptant of where you are, and being vulnerable, allowing people to see where you are. And that's what creates that human connection and trust. When a person is an introverted, but here we go, we're going to do a podcast, God damn it. And maybe I don't have yet 100,000 downloads every episode, but I have enough downloads for me to connect to the right people, and I'm grateful for that. So owning our story wherever we are in the journey and making it visible allows us to connect with like-minded people. And I know it sounds simple, but too many people out there know that they have to do it and they are not. So this is your divine sign to do it. Just do it.
Andreea, it's been one of my favorite episodes.
Aw.
So thank you for joining me today on the Alphapreneurs podcast. I know off mic you was talking about how you're really busy now and you've got lots of inquiries. So I guess the question to you is, the question I normally ask is, what are you working on? How can our listeners get in touch with you?
I'm working on continuing serving people. I have a team of coaches because I have developed in the last few years AZ presenting method. So my coaches can offer that in private sessions or in customized protocols trainings to whoever is willing to try to come out of their comfort zone and optimize their leadership and communication skills. In September, we are going to launch again the online program where I can invite 10 to 15 people to walk with me on a journey of 2 or 3 months to become public speakers and the best leaders. I've done that 3-4 years ago. I stopped it, and now people are asking. There are bigger inquiries, so I'm going to launch that in September this year. I'm also working behind the scenes to develop my own keynotes, so I can go on stages and connect with people and deliver my own keynotes. So I'm working. I'm in student mode, and I'm really enjoying a fruitful, powerful season. Though it's summer, though we are post a more difficult time in history now, but work is amazing, and I'm extremely grateful to be here. And I want to conclude by saying 2 more important things. If you are here at the end of the podcast listening, wow, thank you. We are grateful. I want to say to you that for people who don't know you, you are not just another accounting firm. I pay for my services. It's very clear. We have proof. Yeah, if you want. I want to say that I love how kind and accommodating you as a leader you are and your team is. I feel safe. I feel that whatever problem I have, you have my back. And that I'm super grateful. And I want to say it here on the mic because more people should know. And secondly, I love that you're providing financial infrastructure and relief to people, and I provide emotional infrastructure. Yeah. So I take care of people's emotions, providing them clarity, understanding themselves, understanding what emotion they have to inject in a message or a speech, and putting things on a shelf, creating order in their mind, in their psyche. So that's emotional infrastructure, while you are taking care of financial infrastructure, which I find it extremely complicated. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
No, thank you for your emotional infrastructure as well. We'll put your the course on the show notes as well. Can our listeners get a discount? They put
Of course. It goes without saying. Anything for your listeners and for you. It goes without saying, of course.
Thank you very much. Andreea, thank you for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. It was a really good chat. Very easy. I want more. I want a second one.
Thank you for watching the Alphapreneurs podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and took something away which you can apply in your own business. Please subscribe to the podcast and share this episode with someone who might find it useful too.